Good morning, everyone. Today, I want to speak about a subject that tests the character of every true leader: leadership in the face of adversity. Adversity is not a matter of if, it is a matter of when. It strikes unexpectedly, challenging our values, strength, and resolve. But it's in these very moments that true leadership shines, not by avoiding hardship, but by standing tall in the storm. Leadership in adversity is not about having all the answers. It's about having the courage to act, the humility to listen, and the strength to keep going when others want to give up. When times are hard, your team doesn't just look to you for decisions, they look to you for hope. They watch how you respond to pressure, how you treat others in chaos, and how you maintain vision when the future seems uncertain. One of the most important truths a leader must understand is that adversity is not an anomaly, it is a certainty. It is not a sign of failure or a flaw in the plan. It is part of the leadership journey. Whether it comes in the form of economic downturns, organizational crises, team conflict, public criticism, or personal challenges, adversity will show up. It will test your patience, disrupt your plans, and demand more from you than you thought you could give. No matter how carefully strategized or how well prepared your team is, unexpected difficulties will arise. These are the moments that separate managers from leaders. Anyone can guide a team when things are going smoothly. But when the waters get rough, when the budget drops, the morale dips, or the future looks uncertain, that's when true leadership is revealed. Understanding that adversity is inevitable prepares you to expect the unexpected. It helps you build a mindset of readiness rather than fear. You stop asking, why is this happening to me? And start asking, how can I grow from this? How can I guide others through it? Leaders who accept adversity as a natural part of their path don't panic when it comes. They pivot. They don't retreat. They refocus. And most importantly, they show others that resilience is not just a concept, it's a way of life. To lead with clarity and to inspire those around them to do the same. Adversity isn't the enemy, it's the environment in which leadership proves its value. Leadership isn't truly tested during moments of ease and comfort. It's easy to lead when the path is clear, the team is thriving, and the outcomes are predictable. But the real measure of leadership is revealed when everything begins to unravel. When uncertainty clouds judgment, resources run thin, and pressure mounts from every direction. Hard times act as a magnifying glass. They expose not only the challenges at hand, but also the inner strength, integrity, and authenticity of a leader. In adversity, titles mean little. What matters is how a leader responds when decisions are difficult, when morale is low, and when the stakes are high. Do they remain calm under pressure? Do they communicate with honesty and empathy? Do they lead by example, even when the situation is far from ideal? True leaders don't pretend to be invincible. Instead, they acknowledge the weight of the moment while still guiding their teams with courage and conviction. They admit when they don't have all the answers, but they never stop searching for them. They balance vulnerability with strength, and in doing so, earn the trust and respect of those around them. In difficult times, people are not just watching your strategy, they're watching your character. They observe how you treat others when you're under stress, how you stay committed to your values when cutting corners might be easier, and how you carry yourself when everything seems to be falling apart. It is in these moments that your leadership is defined, not by what you say, but by what you do. Adversity reveals what leadership training cannot teach. Your depth of grit, your willingness to endure discomfort, and your ability to be a steady hand in the storm. These moments forge leaders not through theory, but through experience, messy, painful, and profoundly transformative. In times of adversity, hope becomes more than just an emotion. It becomes a strategic imperative. When uncertainty looms and fear begins to take hold, people instinctively look to their leaders for signs of stability, reassurance, and direction. They are not just seeking solutions, they are seeking belief. They want to know that, despite the obstacles, there is a way forward. And it is the leader's responsibility to carry and communicate that belief, even when the future is unclear. Hope does not mean ignoring reality or sugarcoating the facts. It means acknowledging the difficulties while pointing toward possibility. It's the voice that says, yes, this is hard. Yes, we are being tested. But no, we are not defeated. A hopeful leader understands that morale is fragile during tough times and that sustaining a collective sense of purpose is just as crucial as solving the problems at hand. Hope gives people a reason to keep going when the logic for quitting seems stronger. It fuels perseverance. It reminds the team why they started in the first place. When a leader infuses hope into their message, their presence becomes a light in the darkness, a source of energy that can revive a wearied team and breathe life into exhausted efforts. This kind of leadership doesn't come from motivational speeches alone. It's embedded in actions, attitudes, and consistent behaviors. It's in showing up every day with resolve. It's in celebrating small victories amidst big setbacks. It's in helping others see that challenges are temporary, but the mission is lasting. Moreover, hope is contagious. When a leader believes that better days are ahead, not blindly, but with conviction and determination, it empowers others to believe too. That belief spreads through the organization, turning panic into purpose and fear into forward momentum. Hope, therefore, is not just inspirational, it's transformational. It bridges the gap between where we are and where we aspire to be, and it turns adversity from a stopping point into a launching pad. Leadership during adversity isn't just about making the right decisions or having a strategic mind. It's about human connection. In times of difficulty, the decisions a leader makes can feel cold, calculated, and clinical if they are not tempered with empathy. Empathy, the ability to understand and share the feelings of others, is one of the most vital qualities a leader can possess during difficult times. It allows them to connect with their team on a deeper level and provides a sense of security and understanding in a world full of uncertainty. During crises, people don't just want solutions, they want to feel heard. They want to know that their struggles and concerns are valid. A leader who can listen with an open heart and acknowledge the emotional and psychological toll adversity takes on their team has already won half the battle. Empathy creates trust, and trust is the foundation of any great team. However, empathy without courage is incomplete. It's not enough to just understand others' pain. You must also have the courage to act on it. Courageous leaders stand up not only for what is right, but also for those who may not have the voice or confidence to stand up for themselves. They take bold actions to protect their people, to reassure them when they are frightened, and to empower them when they feel powerless. Courage also means being vulnerable, admitting that you don't have all the answers and being open about the challenges ahead. It requires the bravery to be human with your team, to share your own concerns and uncertainties while remaining strong enough to lead through them. When a leader is brave enough to show their own vulnerabilities, it encourages others to do the same, creating a culture of openness and collective strength. Leading with empathy and courage also means prioritizing the well-being of your team. In times of adversity, people's emotional and physical health can easily be overlooked in the pursuit of productivity or survival. True leadership recognizes that a team cannot perform at its best if its members are emotionally drained, or psychologically overwhelmed. Psychologically overwhelmed. A leader who prioritizes empathy will make sure their team members feel supported, not just professionally, but personally. They will check in, provide encouragement, and offer resources to help their people cope, even if it means temporarily stepping back from the immediate tasks at hand. This balance of empathy and courage also ensures that a leader's actions resonate on a human level. People follow leaders who care. They are more likely to go the extra mile, to dig deep into their reserves of strength when they know their leader cares about their well being and believes in their potential. A leader who leads with empathy and courage creates an environment where others feel safe to express themselves, take risks, and push beyond their limits. Empathy and courage together create a powerful synergy, a dynamic that not only strengthens the individual leader but also fortifies the entire team. It transforms adversity from a destructive force into an opportunity for unity, innovation, and growth. In the face of hardship, people don't just want a leader who can navigate the storm. They want a leader who will stand beside them, understand their struggles, and give them the courage to keep moving forward. In the face of adversity, when the stakes are high and the pressure is mounting, it can be easy to lose sight of what truly matters. The path forward might seem unclear, and the temptation to cut corners, compromise on principles, or chase short-term gains can be overwhelming. So, leaders who are deeply grounded in their values do not bend when the storm hits. They stand firm. They don't let fear or pressure dictate decisions. Instead, their values act as a moral compass, guiding them even when external circumstances are chaotic or uncertain. These values form the bedrock of their leadership, allowing them to make decisions with integrity, even if those decisions are difficult or unpopular. Staying grounded in your values is about more than just following a set of rules. It's about having an unwavering commitment to what is right, regardless of how the situation might challenge you. For a leader, this means acting with transparency, honesty, and accountability. So, it means being a person of your word, especially when the easier choice might be to mislead or take shortcuts for the sake of expedience. In adversity, your values serve as a filter for decision making. When you're faced with tough calls, they help you discern what's truly important and provide clarity amidst confusion. For example, if a leader values teamwork, they'll prioritize collaboration even when it's easier to go it alone. If they value honesty, they'll communicate openly about the difficulties the team is facing rather than sugarcoating or hiding the truth. If they value respect, they'll treat others with dignity, regardless of the stress or challenges they're under. Moreover, when leaders maintain their values in tough times, they set a powerful example for their teams. Leadership by example is one of the most effective ways to cultivate a strong culture. When the team sees their leader sticking to their principles in the face of adversity, it reinforces the idea that their values matter too. Leaders who abandon their values when times get tough risk losing the respect and trust of their followers. Once trust is broken, it is incredibly difficult to rebuild. On the other hand, leaders who stand by their principles, even in adversity, inspire loyalty and admiration from their teams. They show that no matter what happens, their commitment to doing the right thing remains unshaken. In the end, great leaders do not lead by convenience. They lead by conviction. And when they remain rooted in their values, they ensure that their leadership is not just effective, but meaningful, both in the short term and for the legacy they leave behind. In many ways, adversity is the most fertile ground for personal and collective growth. Ooh, dear. While challenges can be uncomfortable and even painful, they also offer the most significant opportunities to evolve, adapt, and strengthen. Leaders who see adversity as an obstacle to overcome miss the true value that lies within it. The greatest lessons, the most profound innovations, and the most powerful transformations often emerge from moments of struggle and hardship. When everything is going smoothly, it's easy to become complacent or take success for granted. The real test comes when the status quo is disrupted and everything you've worked for is questioned or shaken. Adversity forces you to rethink your approach, question your assumptions, and stretch beyond your perceived limitations. It is a natural force that demands change, and change is where true growth begins. Leaders who view adversity as an opportunity for growth will naturally embrace challenges rather than shy away from them. They understand that hardships force them to be more resourceful, more creative, and more resilient. The obstacles you face today are shaping the leader you will become tomorrow. Every decision, every setback, every failure adds layers of experience that enhance your ability to navigate future challenges with greater wisdom and confidence. This perspective extends beyond the individual leader to the entire team. A leader who fosters a growth mindset within their organization helps their team see adversity as an opportunity to develop new skills, expand their capabilities, and learn from each setback. Teams that grow through adversity are more adaptable, more innovative, and more cohesive because they've learned how to support one another, overcome difficulties together, and bounce back stronger. Moreover, adversity provides clarity. It strips away the non essential and forces you to focus on what truly matters. Leaders who are willing to face hardship head on often discover new strengths in themselves, uncover hidden talents in their teams, and unearth innovative solutions to long standing problems. It's in the face of challenge that you often find creative breakthroughs and unforeseen opportunities. The key to harnessing the growth potential in adversity is mindset. Leaders who embrace challenges with an optimistic, forward thinking attitude will see possibilities where others see roadblocks. They understand that growth is not always linear. There will be setbacks, mistakes, and moments of doubt. But these are simply stepping stones in the process of becoming more capable, more knowledgeable, and more resilient. The path to growth is rarely smooth. It's often full of twists, turns, and detours, but each step along the way is a lesson. Adversity also brings clarity of purpose. When everything seems uncertain, leaders often rediscover the core mission that drives them. Challenges force you to ask tough questions about your goals, your values, and the vision you're working toward. In adversity, the noise quiets, and you are left with a deeper understanding of why you do, and what you truly stand for. This clarity of purpose is a powerful motivator, helping you stay focused and driven even when the road ahead is unclear. Finally, adversity builds resilience. Each time you overcome a challenge, you build mental and emotional toughness. The more you face difficulty and rise above it, the stronger you become. This resilience not only prepares you for future obstacles, but it also empowers you to lead others with a steadiness and confidence that inspires those around you.
Oh,
Rather than viewing adversity as something to be avoided or feared, great leaders embrace it as an essential part of their development. It is through hardship that you sharpen your leadership abilities, refine your decision making, and build the resilience needed to lead with wisdom and strength in the face of anything that comes your way. Not many people believe that legacy is something created in times of peace, stability, and success. They envision a leader's legacy as something shaped by achievements, accolades, and smooth operations. However, true legacy is forged in the fire, in the midst of adversity, struggle, and crisis. It is when the storm is at its peak that a leader's true impact is realized, and the mark they leave on the world is most indelible. Adversity is the ultimate test of character. It challenges everything a leader stands for and forces them to make decisions that are not just about immediate results, but about long term impact. Leaders who rise to the occasion during difficult times do not just weather the storm, they shape the future. Their actions, decisions, and principles during these challenging periods define who they are and how they are remembered. When everything is easy, it's possible for leaders to follow conventional paths, make safe choices, and even achieve some level of success. But when adversity strikes, leaders are often faced with decisions that challenge their values, their vision, and their integrity. It is how they respond in these moments that solidifies their legacy. Do they stick to their principles even when the pressure is overwhelming? Do they show up with courage, empathy, and clarity, or do they falter and back down when things get tough? True leaders are often tested in the hardest moments, and it is in these moments that they reveal their lasting influence. A leader's actions in times of adversity ripple far beyond the immediate crisis. These actions inspire others to act with integrity, to show resilience, and to believe in a better future, even when it seems out of reach. A leader's legacy is ultimately about the lasting effect they have on others and how those they lead carry the lessons of their leadership forward. The legacy of a leader who handles adversity with grace and strength isn't simply remembered in terms of how they navigated a crisis, it's reflected in how they transformed their team, organization, or community in the process. Leaders who maintain a clear vision, act with unwavering integrity, and empower others to rise alongside them leave a legacy of strength, courage, and perseverance. They are remembered not for the adversity itself, but for the way they responded to it and the growth they inspired in others. Moreover, adversity is often a time of sacrifice, and it is these sacrifices that define a leader's lasting impact. Whether it's putting the team's needs above personal comfort, making difficult decisions that benefit the collective over the individual, or leading others with a deep sense of duty and responsibility, it is through sacrifice that the depth of a leader's character is revealed. The legacy they leave behind is often not in the outcomes they achieve for themselves, but in the selfless commitment to a greater cause, the collective good, and the people they serve. What sets a truly great leader apart is the ability to create a lasting impact, even in the worst of times. Peer. They don't just survive adversity, they use it to transform their teams, create stronger bonds, and cultivate a sense of shared purpose that outlasts the immediate crisis. These leaders inspire others to be more resilient, more compassionate, and more driven to continue pursuing the greater mission, regardless of the challenges they may face. As time goes on, the storm will pass, and the world will settle back into calm. But the legacy of a leader who thrived in adversity, who led with integrity, purpose, and vision, will endure. This legacy will be passed down to future generations, not just in stories of what was achieved, but in the values and principles that were instilled in others during the hardest of times. The true test of leadership is not in how a leader handles success, it is in how they rise, stand firm, and inspire others to rise alongside them when the storm is at its fiercest. As we conclude, remember that leadership is not about avoiding adversity, it's about how you choose to navigate it. It's in the hardest of moments that the true essence of leadership is revealed. Whether you're leading a team, a company, or simply guiding those around you, know that the way you respond to challenges will define your legacy. The storms will come, and they may test you in ways you never imagined. But it is in those very storms that you have the chance to create something lasting, something meaningful, Stand firm in your values, lead with empathy and courage, and embrace the growth that comes with adversity. And above all, remember that your legacy is not built in the calm, but in the way you rise when the storm hits. Thank you.